So I got another box of G-frame stuff. This is volume 5. So we've got let's see. Got narrative C-packs, Zaku 2, and a Sinanju Stein. So a bit weird that they'd include a Zaku in all that narrative stuff, but I ain't complaining. So here you cut the tape. Let's get this thing open. And we have 2 narratives, 2 Sinanjus, and 1 Zaku. So, I'll need one of those, each of those, and both boxes of the Zaku. So I've got an extra of those 2. So, yeah. I'm pretty excited for this line because I really like the Sinanju Stein design, but I don't have either of the model kits that are out, so there's that. So let's get cracking. First things first, we're gonna start with the Zaku. Alright, there's the armor set, and here is the frame set. Oh, hey, look at that. Leg missiles. And command antenna, huh? Alright. And of course, our Bandai chewing gum. This one? Yeah, it did. I'm pretty sure this will be pretty self-explanatory to put together. Let's do that. We got our Zaku all armored up and ready to go. It's about what do you expect articulation-wise from a G-frame, so actually probably better than the high grade. I wouldn't know. I don't have a high grade Zaku. I have very little Zakus in my collection, but I'm glad to have this one. It looks really nice with all the panel lines and all that you don't see usually in Zaku designs. Usually you see like a very simplistic look, and here we've got I don't even know what the deal with these things are at the tip of the shields. I got some just detail all around here that I don't even think you see in like real grade. Unfortunately, the backs of the legs are exposed frame. Not too big of a deal though. So what do we get in terms of accessories? We get the Zaku's signature bazooka. How does he hold that? Does he hold it like... He hold it like this? With this handle? Yeah, I guess this other handle off here is to hold it with 2 hands. I don't know how it would do that. It doesn't look like he can pose that well to do that. But there's that. Of course, we got the Zaku machine gun. This one looks like it might be able to hold it with 2 hands. And yeah, he can kind of hold it with 2 hands. Alright, and what else we got? We got the Heat Hawk. That's actually... I like this because it looks bigger than your usual Heat Hawk. And it'll plug into the side skirt. And we've got missile pods. These break apart like this and wrap around the legs. Like that. So I'm just gonna keep those on because the missile pods on a Zaku always looked cool to me. So let's put those on. Voila. And our last accessory, we have to take off the top of the helmet, and we have a command antenna. So let's put that right there. Our Zaku is ready to go. So I don't know. Should I go grab something for size comparisons? Yeah. Let's go look for a Zaku. I know I have a few. Looking through my shelves, I do not see a Zaku. Even more looking through the shelves. Yeah, that's a Goof. That's basically a Zaku, right?
This is no Zaku, boy! No Zaku!
I found probably the only Zakus I have on display right now. It's being the Mega Size and a Master Grade Char Zaku. To hell with it. Size comparison with a Mega Size Char Zaku. And size comparison with something a bit more to scale with what you probably would have, a 1:144 scale GIF Origin. So that's it for the Zaku. Let's move on to the Sinanju Stein. So the armor parts, and let's get the frame out. Wow, the frame box is so light compared to the armor. But, yep, let's get this thing. Oh, and here is our Sinanju Stein. I'd say this one's a bit weird. Its proportions seem a little off, kind of more stylized than actual proportion. But hey, it's not a scale model, it's a non-scale figure, so that's to be expected. Nothing really new on the articulation for this guy except for these things right here on the sides of the legs, spin around and fall off. Yeah. The thruster or fuel pods at the back are hollow underneath. Blah blah blah, all that garbage. It's got the same hollow parts as every other G frame. The sleeve markings on the actual sleeves need painting. The one on the chest is very nicely done. For accessories, we got Sinanju Stein's typical beam rifle. I don't know if it has a special name or not, but there's that. The shield looks very nice, very nicely painted. It hooks up the same way any other high-grade shield would. Connector with a point at the back and the side. And we've got a very, very nicely sculpted beam toothpick. Yeah, this is crap, especially since the handle doesn't even reach beyond the hand. If I were to put it in here, it doesn't stick out at the back like a regular beam saber does. It does a little, but not as much as I would like. I would like to have a bit more up at the top and a bit more at the bottom. But yeah, it's pretty good. We'll say I do like this quite a bit still, since I still haven't gotten the Sinanju Stein high grade, or master grade, for that matter. Whoops. Stay put, camera. So yeah, that's the Sinanju Stein. Size comparison time. Let's go find something for that. Well, I think I found what I'm using for size comparison. Size comparison with Assault Kingdom Neo Geong. Yeah, I don't have a regular sized Sinanju at all. So, more practical size comparisons with a real grade Sazabi, since I don't have a Sinanju. This is the closest thing I can do, as long as I can get the stand. Nah. There we go. Size comparisons of the real grade Sazabi. And we'll be moving on to the last part of this set, the Narrative Gundam C packs. Ooh, here we go. Narrative Gundam C packs. First impressions, this shoulder armor will not stay put. Yeah, it's on there as good as it can, and it is very loose. This other one, however, is staying where it should be, so I might have to tighten it up with super glue. So, you know what? Since comically huge seems to be part of this video, I am going to get something comically huge for the size comparison. Size comparison with a perfect grade Fenix. And for something a bit more practical, Let's go with the high-grade narrative Fenix. So yeah, as you see, once again, high grades, dwarf, these little candy toys. But I also think it would be proper to compare it with the original B packs. I just think I prefer B packs. But for his accessories, we have a beam rifle. Pretty standard affair there. And a shield, which has a very unique look to it. I'm not sure how I feel about it. But back and side adapters for that. And there we go. We have a Narrative Gundam C packs. So all in all, I think this was a pretty good wave of G-frame. My favorite is probably the Sinanju Stein, but you know what, the Zaku's really sick. I'm digging the extra detail on there that isn't on any other Zaku. But I do think the weakest part is the narrative C-packs. Mostly I think it's because of the psycho frame effect. I don't know if it's picking up on camera all that well, but the legs here, the psycho frame here looks fine. It's nice and metallic and like dark reddish, whereas everything else, I got this, guess that's probably because, whoops. I guess that's probably because of the color of plastic it's molded on is a gunmetal color, whereas all the other is painted on top of white plastic, and it is not nearly as dark or metallic looking as the legs here. So if everything looked quite like this, then I think this would be a much better looking figure. But since that's not the case, it feels kind of lacking. The Sinanju Stein, while it is missing some paint details and has some hollow parts under the fuel tanks here, and has a very shoddy looking beam saber toothpick, I really like the sculpt of it. I really like the added details. Again, the G-frame line does have some added molded details in there that aren't on any other figure. It's just really nice. Maybe if I had the high grade to compare it to, I wouldn't hold this in such high regards, but it's definitely my favorite of the bunch. And the Zaku 2 is definitely not something to ignore either. I was just kind of, just much like the Gelgoog in the last wave, I wasn't really excited for this one, but upon having it in hand, it has definitely exceeded my expectations. So Zaku 2 is definitely one to look for, especially since it has a completely unique sculpt for a Zaku. I do like all this added detail on here. It definitely makes it look more unique than just another Zaku, I guess. So that's it for this video. Come June, I will be getting the one with the Gundam 05, the ground type, and the gun cannon. I basically only ordered that for the Gundam 05, but the other two are just bonuses, and I'm actually really looking forward to them after this, because every time I get something I don't really want from the line, I end up adoring it anyways. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.